For players on the men's lacrosse team at High Point University, life isn't so easy. Between the day-to-day life of any other student, these men have a loaded schedule of workouts and practices to prepare for the incredibly physical games that they play. And this is where we find Tyler Stinson. A senior, Tyler has spent his tenure at High Point on the lacrosse team. And with the option for a fifth year of eligibility on the table, this year has made him question if he can go on as a player, with his other commitments looming over him. Alec Boyer and I sat down with Tyler to discuss how he has navigated his life balancing the full-time job of being a student with his grueling schedule as a Division I athlete. To open, Tyler gave us a rundown of what a basic week is like for him for both school and lacrosse.
Probably some of my hardest days came this semester where, you have practice at 6:30 in the morning, so you're waking up at 5:45. You finish practice around 9 o'clock. And then from there, I'd have to go work in the office with the marketing department. So I'd probably work 2 hours in there doing some video editing or something like that. Then I'd head to class, 3:30 class normally, go to that for an hour or whatever it was, and then right to lift after that. And then when it was full swing in with like the basketball tournament and everything like that, so I'd then have to work some of the games after, and it became a lot. Everything kind of changes from day to day with our practices. Some days it's more of a scout look where you're kind of more worried about what the other team does, and other times it's just more about focusing on us. And those practices are very upbeat and kind of get after each other, a lot of ground ball work, things like that.
And if that wasn't enough, Tyler spent much of this recent semester working in the marketing department.
In the marketing department, I did a lot of different things, but I think the most important thing that I did was I created a lot of video editing things for social media, so a lot of game day graphics, a lot of highlight videos, things like that. Outside of that, I did a little bit of ticket sales, helping Taylor Miller in the marketing department, but that was mainly what I did.
So after outlining his triple life and how much time he puts into everything he does, Tyler gave us some insight into how he has balanced his life as a full-time student with his long lacrosse schedule during his 4 years at High Point, along with his work in the marketing department this year.
Finding balance is probably one of the hardest things that I've found in college. Just playing lacrosse and having school on top of that, it really is like having a full-time job. So it is difficult to kind of get in a groove, but I think every year when you come back from summer, you kind of get in a schedule and kind of figure it out that way. Yeah, I think my freshman year, I was definitely a little bit immature and, didn't have very good time management skills, but this program, the lacrosse program, along with the sports media program has really helped me evolve, both as a student and in life. I think it's prepared me. I'm better with my time management skills. Things that'll help me going forward in the real world.
And while he may look unfazed from his busy schedule, this year Tyler has realized the toll his body and mind have taken from all of his years playing lacrosse.
Over time, realistically, your body just kind of starts to deteriorate. It's hard to say because one of those things is I don't know. I've seen kids on my team come back for a fifth year, and personally me, I'm I just can't do it because my body is broken. I know it may seem crazy, but it's I'm getting old. It feels like that. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my back, and it really has taken a toll on my body.
With the vast majority of his time here being devoted to lacrosse and hours of practice and lifting, Tyler's college experience has been different from the majority of students.
I think the hardest part of being a student athlete realistically is seeing what other students are doing that you can't do. So socially they have a lot more options and things like that. So it's kind of hard to see them having such a great time. Ours, we're still enjoying it, but it's a very different side of things, and it's just a completely different life, I think.
Realizing he needed to leave lacrosse behind, Tyler chose to travel to England for a master's program instead of coming back to HPU and using his fifth year of eligibility. A decision that was difficult for him to make.
It was a pretty difficult conversation to have just because Coach Torpy's one of my father figures. Realistically, he's been amazing for me, and he would be a great reason for me to come back, but it's one of those things when your body's telling you can't do it, you just can't do it. So luckily I got the opportunity to go to England next year and do grad school, so I'm taking that opportunity instead.
Through it all, Tyler found his way and is set to graduate in the coming weeks.
It's realistically been the best 4 years of my life. Even though sometimes it is really difficult and sometimes you may want to quit, in the end, it really is worth it.